Hello there again, my friends. Hope you're well. Welcome back. Welcome to the first video of week 3. Stress management. Ooh la la, yes. We're getting into some deeper topics here, into some deeper waters, which I definitely enjoy. Yes. And to start off this week, it's more of a, let's say, basic question. What is stress? But thank you. Nevertheless, thank you very much for the question. I appreciate every single question that you send it to me. Please send it to me. And even if you ever get a question that is outside of that week's topic, come on, just send it to me. I'm happy. I'm really happy when I get the chance to share the value and help you find the answers that you seek and help you make better, educated decisions in your life. All right. What is stress? Essentially, stress is just available energy. And before I go deeper into this, I want to quickly talk about. I want to quickly talk about another topic, basically self-development in general. I just want to voice my ideas on it. Is that when it comes to all these various self-development topics, self-care, and these like how these things are understood generally, is that I see that a lot of it is a very basic level of understanding, very primary school level of understanding of our psychology and beliefs, actions, thoughts, our habits, environment, I've heard these 1,000 times, you want a habit, do it for something 60 days and control your environment, control your conditioning, set up conditions, set up things in environment, all these things. And when I was learning about these things about 10 years ago, I think it was a bit over 10 years ago when I kind of more started learning about these things. Back then I was like, okay, I mean, it's interesting, and back then it was very valuable. When I see this same level of understanding prevalent 10 years later, I'm like, wait, come on, this is not... See, that's the thing. A lot of times, I fully believe, a lot of times this common advice, which is, by the way, just not everyone, but most people, and most also people in this self-development community, in the coaching, even my community, I think they just regurgitate the same stuff over and over again. Like the same elementary basic knowledge is like, it's the same thing regurgitated, same posts, same quotes, same things. Like it's the same, too basic, too basic and too primary. When I see those posts that, hey, if you're feeling down, just only think positively, or write a journal, write 10 reasons what are you grateful for today. I just want to throw up, to be honest. I do. I understand the idea behind it. Yes, I understand the idea behind it. But a lot of times, I fully believe that this information which is given, it is not only incomplete, not only very surface level, and not really bringing this deep level of understanding, but a lot of times also incorrect and misleading, and just plain wrong. Yes, I am saying that right now. That a lot of things that I see when it comes to self-development are misleading and wrong and incomplete, and not at all that helpful. Not at all. What gives me the authority to even say these things is that it's my job to know. It's my job to learn, to really learn deeply about these topics of health, of psychology, to learn, to read, to research, to find information, to go deeper, to find information and go deeper, to find the deeper reason and go deeper, and go deeper and go deeper. Basically, to the very core of these teachings and these understandings, and bring these core teachings up in the light and bring them all to you. That's my job. It's my job to know these things. It's my job to learn, to understand deeply these things, to research deeply. And then my job is to bring this value up to you. And bring this value truthfully. Bring this deep level of understanding for you, While for topic of this week, I could just say the same basic thing when it comes to stress management. Do this, do that, stressors and that. I look things at a deeper perspective, at a bigger picture, I'm more interested about this very core understanding which affects our whole life. Not just like some just like some things to copy and mindlessly follow. No. I want you to really think for yourself, to make your own decisions in life, to make educated decisions, to live your life, to be authentic, to essentially strengthen your connection to your inner self. Because I honestly believe that pretty much every single answer that we've ever looked for is within us. Within us. And we hold all the answers to all the questions that we ultimately ever want to know. But nowadays, the society, we're taught to look for things in the external environment. We're taught to, hey, look for this advice from external environment, take this advice from these professionals, take this advice from these successful people. Copy that thing. And to be honest, I think even a monkey just copying the kind of habits that are done. Even a monkey could be successful nowadays and get like a big cash. But I don't see that the external success in the material possessions and the money is really an equivalent for our own internal success. I don't believe that to be true. Nowadays, it's easy to make money even when the people are not very developed, so to say. It's easier than ever to make money, and it doesn't really. Back in the past, it was different, but now it's you can copy just some. I can copy the same habits and just follow the tracks of other people. Sure, you can get success. But the question that I always asked when it comes to this was, is it my path? Is it really the path that I want to walk? Do I want to walk and just copy someone else's path? Or do I want to walk my own path? Do I want to live my own life? Do I want to be that unique, authentic person that I am? Because all of us is just one of us. No, this body, not that we're in. There's just one of us. We're unique. We all have our unique lives. And while I do believe that learning from others and enriching our lives from other people's experiences and knowledge is valuable and is the key to growing, in the end, I believe that we all have our own lives. We all have our own paths. And it's up to us. In the end, it's only up to us to make the decisions for our lives. No other person, no other teaching, outside external teaching, is meant to make the decisions for us. We are meant to make the decisions for us. And just to give you, let's say, one more example of the things that I've learned and that I'm talking about, that nowadays this self-help, self-educational content is it's just basic. It's very surface level, very primary level. It's like, we're complex beings. Humans are much more complex than it seems. We are very, very complex psychology. And the crazy thing is that so many of the deeper things that run within us and play a significant role in our life, we're not really aware of it. We don't really pay attention to it. There are all these deeper things that come from our subconscious, come from our deeper programming, come from our deeper beliefs, come from our deeper understanding, come from our deeper state, come from our deeper connection to ourselves. And just to give you an example, let's say habits. Okay, commonly it's said, hey, you need 2 months, do it every day to get a habit, all those other things, sure. But you can create a habit or change your life or change yourself in one single evening. If you know how to do it, you do the work, you do the internal work, you put the focus internally, you can do these things in one evening. And the next morning, you can wake up and it's basically the same effect, even a better effect, that if you've done it, just a habit, practice this habit for 60 days. And this is absolutely true. With 100% certainty, every single one of you who is watching, who is listening, every single one of you, you have the capability to do that. To change your life, to change your habit in one evening. And wake up next morning and see that it's already an existing part of who you are. And how is this possible? 2 things. The first thing is that we have to believe that it's possible, because if we believe that that's something that's not possible, even if we do all the right steps that we need to take, just because we don't believe that, we create our own, essentially, a future because of that. Just Just that if we don't believe that it's possible for us to change our habits and change our life in one evening, we won't be able to do it. Because we won't allow ourselves to do it. Again, because it comes from our belief. That's the first thing. And the second part is that when it comes to the deeper part of our subconscious, there doesn't exist really a perception of time. What do I mean by that? Is that for our conscious mind, we have this, we categorize things by time, events by time. That's how we look at life, and we need this kind of structure to be able to categorize and memorize events in life. But for our subconscious, there only ever exists now. That's the thing. There only ever exists now. So if something happened to us in the past, let's say, commonly for about 90-something%, close to 99% of the people, maybe even more than just 99%, maybe 99 point something people, yes, I'm making this statement right now, they have traumas. We live in traumas, we live with internal pains, we live in internal struggles, we live with internal traumas, we live with crippling and very destructive self-talk. We don't really value and don't really recognize our true internal value. And these things are not affected by time. So if a trauma happened to us 10 years ago, 20 years ago, even 50 years ago, it doesn't matter. As long as the trauma is still there, is still within present, there only ever exists now for our deeper subconscious. And for it to be changed, we have to be the ones who change it. We have to be the ones to resolve it. But on the other side, once we resolve it, once we change this habit, once we change this internal programming, there only ever exists now, and we've just changed it for our whole life. And that is something that I can give you with 100% certainty that is true. And in upcoming weeks, I'll talk more. And it's my job. My job is to share you these things, to help you understand, so that you can save time. All right. Long video. Back to stress. So on the end topic, when it comes to stress, is just available energy. It all comes from our primal psychology. Back in the primitive times when we lived, sort of say caveman times, is that there's this primary triggers of fight and flight response, and it's the same basic principle of stress. Either we were the prey and there was a predator and we had to survive. Our goal was to survive, so we had to either fight or to run, and so stress was generated as an energy for our extremities, so we can do that, so we can survive. Or it was the other way around, and we were the predator and there was the prey, and our goal was to chase it. And in that case, again, stress was created as a form of available energy so that we can use it to achieve our goal. And this level of primal psychology still plays today. Yeah, many things have changed. We have fancy technology, yeah. Our primal triggers, our primal psychology still plays in role. It's more prevalent than it seems, and it's more, it doesn't go anywhere. It still is there. So the stress is an energy. It's energy for us meant to be used. But in nowadays world, we first of all, we don't really pay attention also to the stress. We pay attention to the stressor. Okay. That's logical. That's what happens. When there's stressor, our brains pay attention to the stressor factor, but we don't really pay as much attention to the actual stress aspect within ourselves, because if we paid more attention to it, it would be easier for us to understand it and easier for us to work these things out. But and as I was saying in my previous post, is that the easiest way how to deal with stress is through movement, because that's what stress is. It's available energy designed for us to move something, for us to move, for us to use. And then again, what happens is that once this stress already has been created within our bodies, it has to be released. It really has to be released, because otherwise, chronic, long-term stress inevitably will lead to sickness of the body, sickness of the mind, sickness of the spirit. Guarantee that. Completely, I can guarantee that. Long-term chronic stress, easiest way to get sick. And so, when the stress is built up, that's when this energy has to be used, because then when we use this energy, we can again return to the state of peace and rest. The natural state of all things in life is peace and rest. And only when we return to the state, and again, we have the ability to work on those stressors and then work on minimizing the future aspects of the stressors. That's it for this video. It's a really long one. I'll be very much looking forward to the next video. Thank you for the question. Thank you for joining me, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.